सरसफाइका बाचा पूरा गरौं भन्ने अभियानको उद्घोष गर्दै मार्च 18 र 19 मा काठमाडौँमा सरसफाई सम्बन्धी सार्क स्तरीय सम्मेलन सम्पन्न भयो। सम्मेलनमा भारत, बंगलादेश, श्रीलंका, पाकिस्तान र नेपालका सांसदहरू एवं खानेपानी र सरसफाईको क्षेत्रमा क्रियाशील सामाजिक अभियन्ताहरू सहभागी रहेका थिए। बेलायतका 3 जना सांसदहरू पर्यवेक्षकको रूपमा सहभागी सम्मेलन काठमाडौँको अन्नपूर्ण होटलमा भएको थियो।
Thank you very much and good afternoon. In the last line, we actually propose we want to add sex education. Here, what is the kind of correction that is the in first paragraph. And second paragraph.
मार्च 18 तारिखमा पहिलो दिन सार्क राष्ट्र र बेलायतका सांसदहरू, सामाजिक कार्यकर्ताहरू र पत्रकारहरूको टोलीले ललितपुरको ठेचो गाविसको स्थलगत भ्रमण गरी त्यहाँको सरसफाईको अवस्थाबारे जानकारी लिएको थियो।
Wow, I've never been photographed in a hotel like this.
The tree.
So there's a lack of awareness, and then the old people, they are not happy to, defecate in the toilet, because they are used to defecating in open space. So some of the old people's they still want to go to the farm for defecation,
yes.
and the women and the daughters, especially the daughter-in-laws, they really have to convince very hard the house, the head of the house, to give approval or to construct the toilet here. So that's also a social issue. It's not only technical issue. It's not only financial issue.
No.
But they're not having a toilet. It's also social kind of issue. There is no awareness and people are happy and they think it's okay.
अस्सी भन्दा बढी सामाजिक अभियन्ताहरू सम्मिलित पहिलो दिनको छलफलले सरसफाई बारे सार्क नागरिकहरूको घोषणा पत्र तयार गर्यो भने त्यसमाथि दोस्रो दिन सांसदहरूले प्रतिबद्धता जनाए। सम्मेलनको समापन लैनचौर स्थित टेबल टेनिस हलमा भव्य समारोहको आयोजना गरिएको थियो।
I was very
friends from media, and your ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation and being here at this Dignity March that is going to take place at the end of this program. Before we start with the program, we'd like to thank once again the Amiens team for putting up such an amazing cultural program. Also, giving out the brief outline of today's program, we have musical events, speech on the campaign, recitation of citizen charter, signature by honorable members of parliament, sole visit by honorable members of parliament, and dignity march. And now, with that, we'd like to call on stage Mr. Ashutosh Tiwari, country representative, Water Aid Nepal, to put on a welcome speech and welcome and also address the gathering. Thank you.
Honorable members of parliament and lords, colleagues from the water, sanitation and hygiene sector, students, civil society representatives, on behalf of Water Aid and on behalf of South Asia Regional Campaign Team, I would like to welcome you all to this launch of the South Asia Regional Campaign on sanitation. One may ask, why do this campaign? We do it for a set of reasons. The first reason is we would like to draw attention to the fact that sanitation matters. Why does it matter? It matters because despite our efforts, 700 million, 700 million South Asians in 7-8 countries in the South Asia region practice open defecation every single day. Every single day. And 1 billion, more than 1 billion South Asians in our countries, they do not have access to sanitation. More than 1 billion, 700 million. Very, very big numbers. We want to draw attention to this fact that this cannot go on and on and on. By drawing attention, we hope to change the thinking of the government, the donors, public at large, that sanitation does matter. That it should be a priority development issue for all of us, the government and everybody alike. In Nepal, 7 out of 10 Nepalis do not have access to improved sanitation. That's a shocking number, and we are in 2013 March, 21st century, and already we live like as if we are still in the medieval 14th century. We want to change the thinking because we are all talking about human beings and human lives. No matter how vulnerable, marginalized, they matter so much more for all of us. So we do this for human beings and their lives matter. When their lives matter, we dignify human life. So we do sanitation for dignity. We also want to change the mind and the attitude of the government. Government they talk about big infrastructure, big development, all fine. But what about small-scale development, sanitation, water supply, and so forth? So changing the mind, changing the attitude also matters a lot when you do campaigns like this. And finally, by changing mind, we urge government, donors, and everybody else to take action. What actions are we talking about? For the government, we ask the government to reach the unreached. People normally who do not have voices to speak up on their own behalf. We want to speak on their behalf. We want the government to monitor progress on sanitation. We want to make sure that the government ensures 100% sanitation coverage in all their countries. Likewise, this campaign is to knock on the donors' door to make sure that they actually increase financial allocation for sanitation. More money gets more things done, more sanitation done. And scaling up rural sanitation in many parts of Nepal and South Asia. And finally, when big urban infrastructure are talked about, the urban poor are not left behind in the game of sanitation. We want donors to take note of these issues. How did we arrive to this point in the sanitation campaign phase? We arrived in 2 ways. First, since last November, a group of us, civil society institutions, have been brainstorming as to how to take the campaign forward. The culmination was for the last 2 days. When the MPs, the members of parliament and lords, they visited a field site yesterday in Tulelipur, they got briefings from all of us. They had a discussion this morning. Likewise, civil society institutions also got together. They formed a charter as to what the citizen's charter should look like when you knock on the doors of the government. So today, this lunch is about engaging everyone else in a conversation. to look at the nature of public investment on sanitation, to support people, especially poor, marginalized and vulnerable people, so that they have access to sanitation, and to raise the profile of sanitation. Sanitation is not glamorous, it doesn't get a lot of press, but we want to make sure that it matters to people, to whom sanitation really matters. We also want to share our skills and expertise to make sure that everybody talks about sanitation in a way that is the bedrock of development. Why now? Why do this now, in March, middle of March 2013? 4 reasons. First reason is that SARK, alliance of 7 or 8 countries that we have in the region, SARK is having a summit in Kathmandu sometime later this year or early next year. We will put this on the agenda of the government. We also want to involve all the SARK countries, obviously, and we will create an alliance among civil society institutions, among us, and the public at large. And we want to inject a sense of urgency to the issue of sanitation, so that at the end of the day, when we do sanitation, we're actually talking about human lives, human beings. We're expanding their capabilities, we're expanding their choices, so that all human beings in our parts of the world, they go on to live healthy, dignified lives when sanitation is introduced in their lives. Thank you very much once again, and we're delighted to have you all here today. Thank you.
Also, not to forget that Nepal is also culturally rich, and today we also have South Asian countries. All of them are equally culturally very, very rich, and also we have the rituals from UK. Not to forget, UK is also very, very rich in its cultural history. Also, now we are going to showcase some of our cultural programs. And before we welcome our performers, I would like to inform you all that this campaign is being live broadcasted by Himalayan TV. So I would like to thank Himalayan TV for being with us for this campaign. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome once again Annie and Drew for their cultural performances. Thank you. गरी तथा प्रेक्षक समुदायलाई लक्षित गरी सरसफाइका लागि आवश्यकीय स्रोतहरूको वृद्धि गर्नुका साथै सरसफाइका लागि जुटाएको स्रोतहरूको दिगो सरसफाइ सेवा प्रदान गर्नका लागि प्रभावकारी उपयोग गर्नमा सफल पुर्याउनु नै आजको यस अभियानको मुख्य उद्देश्य रहेको छ र आजको यस कार्यक्रमलाई हामी अगाडि बढाउन चाहन्छौँ। अर्को एउटा प्रस्तुति रहेको छ हाम्रो कल्चरल डान्स अन्तर्गत अर्को एउटा प्रस्तुतिका साथै हामी आजको यस कार्यक्रमलाई अगाडि बढाउन चाहन्छौँ।
to Nepal, warm greetings from us Nepalese. हामी आज विश्वमा आविष्कारहरूको कुरा गर्छौँ, साइन्सको कुरा गर्छौँ, टेक्नोलोजीको कुरा गर्छौँ, डेभलपमेन्टको कुरा गर्छौँ, तर आज अझै पनि सरसफाई निकै पछि परेको छ। निकै दुःख लाग्छ, आज पनि हात धुन सिकाउनुपर्छ, बाहिर खुला पिसाब नगरिदिनु भनेर अनुरोध गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ। थुप्रै डोनर्सहरूबाट पैसा ल्याएर यो क्याम्पेनहरू चलाउन पर्ने आवश्यकता आज पनि छ र निकै दुःख लाग्छ। तर एज अ इन्डिभिजुअल यस क्षेत्रमा केही योगदान दिन सक्दाखेरि निकै खुसी पनि लाग्दछ र यो सम्भावना र भनौँ यो एउटा जुन कदम मैले इन्डिभिजुअल रूपमा चालेकी छु त्यो सायद मेरो मेन्टर्सहरू मैले काम गर्ने समाजका विभिन्न अङ्गहरू, चाहे त्यो स्कुल स्टुडेन्ट्स किन नहोस्, टिचर्स किन नहोस्, गाविसका रिप्रेजेन्टेटिभ्स किन नहोस्, उहाँहरू बिना यो सफल हुँदैन थियो। एउटा प्रसङ्ग म यहाँ सेयर गर्न चाहन्छु। विकासको आधारबाट उयो गर्दाखेरि सुदूरपश्चिम नेपाल जुन निकै विकास भनेर अझै पनि चिनिन्छ एउटा खुसीको खबर म यहाँ सेयर गर्न चाहन्छु since we have both English and Nepali speaking crowds here, I will balance my speech as much as to my ability. Far western part of Nepal, which is one of the most underdeveloped parts of Nepal, is now one of the leading regions in sanitation sector. I say this because I work with the people there and I make visits there, and it's a great opportunity to announce in this platform that today, till this day, out of 75 BDCs of far western part of Nepal, over 65 BDCs have been declared open defecation free zone, which is a great achievement in itself. Now, thank you so much. Now, without wasting further time, I would like to carry on with the charter recitation. One more time, it's an honor to be a part of this campaign, of this conference, and to be reciting this charter is a great privilege for me. South Asia Regional Campaign on Right to Sanitation. Citizens' Charter on Right to Sanitation. Ending the sanitation crisis is one of the most important development challenges in South Asia. Whistle there will be considerable progress in the region. Over 1 billion people still don't have access to basic sanitation, and around 700 million people practice open defecation. Diarrhea caused by unsafe water, poor sanitation and hygiene is the second biggest killer of children under 5. A huge percentage of people are denied access to improved sanitation. 69% in Nepal, 66% in India, 63% in Afghanistan, 56% in Bhutan, 52% in Pakistan, 44% in Bangladesh. This is a source by UNICEF WHO January Report 2012. In this context, we, the citizens of Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Nepal, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka, gathered in Kathmandu, call for following to realize the right to sanitation in South Asia. The governments of South Asia must, number 1, recognize sanitation as a legally enforceable right, fundamental for human health, dignity, empowerment, and development. Number 2, fulfill existing national and international commitments for ensuring access to sanitation for all. Number 3, spend at least 1% of GDP to achieve universal access to sanitation, an adequate proportion of this on operation and maintenance of existing infrastructure. To enable monitoring of this spend, include a separate budget line for sanitation within national budgets. Number 4, ensure access to sanitation in all situations, including disasters, emergencies, conflicts, and migration. Number 6, improve standards of sanitation services to make them usable and accessible for the entire population, with special emphasis on poor and marginalized areas and groups, particularly persons with disabilities, women, children, and older people. Regularly identify and officially recognize poor and marginalized areas and groups, and develop separate sanitation investment plans to bridge these service gaps in both rural and urban areas, including slums. Number 7, include specific measures to increase community participation, particularly of women and persons with disabilities, in planning, implementation, and management of sanitation services, for improving transparency and accountability. Number 8, develop a participatory multi-stakeholder monitoring mechanism for annual reporting against clear indications for poor, marginalized, and excluded groups, including people with disabilities, women, children, and older people. Number 9, address the stigma of impurity and pollution ascribed to sanitation, especially to menstruation, and to those providing sanitation services, and ensure that services are provided in a gender, age, disability, and culturally sensitive manner, consistent with human rights and dignity. Number 10, eliminate all forms of manual scavenging and ensure dignity and equality for sanitation workforce. Number 11, ensure that disposal and management of human waste is carried out in strict conformity to the principles of protecting human rights, health, and environmentally sustainability. Number 12, effectively engage in the processes for the development of the post-2015 framework and advocate for a separate target for universal access to sanitation.
यो सम्मेलनको समापन कार्यक्रम भइरहेको छ। अब यो समापन कार्यक्रम सँगसँगै यहाँ सहभागी रहनुभएका सहभागीहरू सार्क सचिवालय पुग्नुहुनेछ र यो सम्मेलनले सरसफाइको क्षेत्रलाई लिएर गरेका घोषणाहरू र त्यसको विषयमा सार्क राष्ट्रमा सम्मिलित सांसदहरूले गरेको प्रतिबद्धता पत्र सार्क सचिवालयमा लगेर बुझाउने कार्यक्रम रहेको छ र लैनचौरदेखि यो यात्रा सुरु हुनेछ। यति बेला यो क्याम्पेनमा सहभागी हुनुहुने एकजनासँग म कुराकानी गर्न चाहन्छु। यहाँलाई स्वागत छ। यो 2 दिनसम्म यो सम्मेलन चले सरसफाइको क्षेत्रमा। यो सम्मेलनले के कस्तो निर्णय गर्यो जसले अबको दिनमा दक्षिण एसियाली क्षेत्रमा सरसफाइको मुद्दालाई बलियोसँग उठाउनको लागि सहयोग गर्नेछ?
यसले मुख्य निर्णय गरेको पनि नागरिक समाजको बडापत्र तयार गरेको छ। त्यो यो बडापत्र चाहिँ अब सरकारहरुमा दिने, आफ्नो देशको सरकारमा दिने, साथै यहाँ आउने अब नयाँ साकोसनको मिटिङमा पनि दिने हो। उसले गरेको बाचा पूरा गर भन्नको लागि त्यही हो।
यी बाचाहरू जे छन् यो राजनीतिक रूपमा पूरा गर्नुपर्छ। यहाँ जो सहभागी हुनुभयो विभिन्न देशका सांसदहरू र सँगसँगै बेलायतबाट पनि सांसदको टोली आउनुभएको थियो। उहाँहरूको कस्तो किसिमको प्रतिबद्धता रह्यो यो स्यानिटेसनको सन्दर्भमा उहाँहरूले गरेका बाचाहरू पूरा गर्ने सवाल?
उहाँको ठुलो उहाँले पनि ठुलो कमिटमेन्ट गर्नुभएको छ। उहाँहरूले चाहिँ आफ्नो देशमा गएर आफ्नो देशका सरकारहरूलाई यसो जवाब दिने, यसलाई पुरा गर्नको लागि, अगाडि सार्नको लागि चाहिँ उहाँले त्यसको लागि बजेटको व्यवस्था गर्ने, त्यो सबै कुराहरू गर्ने भनेर उहाँले वचन दिनुभएको छ।
जस्तो नेपाल जस्तो देशमा खास गरी हामीले अहिले साउथ एसियाकै मुद्दा उठाइरहँदाखेरि हामी कहाँ पनि यो सरसफाइ र खानेपानीको समस्यालाई प्रमुख रूपमा लिनुपर्छ र नेपालमा चाहिँ के अवस्था छ र यहाँको सरकारले आफूले गर्नुपर्ने जति दायित्व गर्न सकेको छ वा छैन?
नेपालमा पहिलाभन्दा धेरै राम्रो भएको छ, तर अझ धेरै गर्न बाँकी छ। अनि त्यही धेरै गर्न बाँकीलाई पहिला भनेर छिटो गर्नु पर्यो भनेकोलाई
यो सम्मेलन समापन भइसके पश्चात यहाँबाट यो सम्मेलन सार्क सचिवालयमा जानेछ र योभन्दा अगाडिको कार्यक्रम के छ जानकारी दिनु?
अब सकियो अहिले 3 मार्च गएर त्यहाँ जाने हो।
त्यहाँ गएर हामीले केही बुझाउँदै
बडापत्र दिने उहाँलाई। किन अब सार्कको समिट हुँदैछ, यहाँ सार्कको समिट अर्को वर्ष नेपालमा हुँदैछ, त्यति बेला चाहिँ तिनीहरूको एजेन्डामा यो राख्नको लागि अहिले हामी दिनु जाने।
धन्यवाद। दर्शकवृन्द, सार्क सम्मेलन हुँदैछ अर्को वर्ष र त्यो सम्मेलनमा सहभागी हुनुहुने सहभागीहरूलाई सरसफाइ र खानेपानीको सन्दर्भमा विशेष आवाज उठाउनको लागि यो सम्मेलनले दबाब दिएको छ र यति बेला सार्क सचिवालयसम्मको यो पदयात्रा सुरु भएको छ र जहाँ विभिन्न देशका सहभागीहरू सहभागी हुनुहुन्छ र इन्डिया, बङ्गलादेश, पाकिस्तान, श्रीलङ्का लगायत बेलायतका समेत सांसदहरूको सहभागिता यो सम्मेलनमा रहेको थियो र यसको समापन कार्यक्रममा यति बेला सार्क सचिवालयसम्मको यात्रा सुरु भएको छ, पदयात्रा सुरु भएको छ। समारोह लगत्तै सहभागी सांसदहरू सहित सयौं सहभागीहरू र्यालीमा सहभागी भएका थिए। Oh my God. सम्मेलनले गरेको घोषणा र दक्षिण एसियाली क्षेत्रमा सरसफाईलाई एउटा महत्वपूर्ण मुद्दाका रूपमा व्यवहार गर्न सरकारहरूलाई दबाव दिन सार्क नै एउटा आधिकारिक संगठन थियो। तसर्थ सम्मेलनमा सहभागी सांसद र सामाजिक कार्यकर्ताहरूको एक टोलीले काठमाडौँ स्थित सार्क सचिवालय पुगी सार्कका महासचिवलाई सम्मेलनबारे जानकारी गराउँदै सम्मेलनको घोषणा पत्र हस्तान्तरण गरेको थियो।
Of this campaign that we have launched today, keep your promises.
I am Dr. Vishwara from Sri Lanka Parliament.
I am Manoj Singh Chaudhary, Member of Parliament from Bangladesh.
Council Bihar, India.
Good afternoon. I am Dr. Akhtar Malik.
Parliament.
Yeah, this is Muhammad Ziaur Rahman,
Winner for FANSA, Freshwater Action Network South Asia, and a member of Regional Campaign Coordination Team.
I'm Ravilal Shrestha, Research and Advocacy Manager, WaterAid in Nepal.
Greetings from London. My name is John Montague.
I'm Ian McCall. I'm Professor of Surgery in London and a member.
From Afghanistan.
Good afternoon. My name is Tariq Mohammed. I'm the Director of the SARK Secretariat. I'm from Bangladesh.
To come here as a combined group of citizens of South Asia, including member parliaments, caused by dirty water and unsafe sanitation. So this is a crisis in South Asia, and this is an attempt to resolve that challenge along with Africa and Europe and other places. So this is also our resolve and our compliment and our confidence in this body. We are requesting all the governments in South Asia of GDP, gross domestic product, to achieve the universal access to sanitation to all. Rural portfolio in sanitation, as the rural areas suffer most than urban. And we among ourselves, the member parliaments, we have made a commitments today, and as a civil society, we have partnership to realize this dignified dream of South Asia. So these are the key messages. I will close this and again. We line up and hand over that.
We have this South SARK development goal.
was framed for a period of 5 years, beginning from 7 and ended in 12. So, just to review the achievement of SDGs and some other poverty-related issues, and setting ground for post-2015 agenda as a regional voice for post-2015's agenda after MDG's first cycle or whatever we say. Even just in our brief meeting, one of the friends was sharing about the Millennium Campaign and the development framework of post-2015 development framework. My simple point is, as I see our honorable member of parliaments and even from Nepal, secretary of the ministry and distinguished delegates, distinguished member of parliaments, just my point is we are having a ministerial level meeting here in Kathmandu, just the first week of April, that is 5 to 6, poverty elimination ministerial level meeting. So basically that will be the body, is the mechanism to decide to set ground for post-2015 development agenda for the region, and even it will come up with some sort of common voice or common position for that framework even at UN level and other international forum. The respective delegates and member of parliaments had interactions with the ministries and policymakers and to at least convince or pursue them this agenda in this coming meeting, ministerial meeting of SARK. So it would be a very good time. Just I would like to inform of this event. It would be a very good opportunity for all member of parliaments to go back and discuss this issue with the relevant ministries and ministers. So that we can at least include some issues like that. Social charter may give some basic ground for this area to deal at regional level. So this is just to inform the honorable delegates here. Thank you.
$500,000 children every year, and the source is this interagency report on that. And I can particularly send you
and other, they have, we are also member of parliament from various country, are giving much.
It's up to you if you find any useful thing. It's for you. And once again, I would like to thank Thank you, sir.
आगामी वर्ष आयोजना हुने सार्क राष्ट्रहरूको शिखर सम्मेलनमा सरसफाईको क्षेत्रमा सार्क राष्ट्र प्रमुखहरूको विशेष ध्यानाकर्षण गर्न र व्यवहारमा समेत उतार्नका लागि सम्मेलन सफल हुने विश्वास सबैले लिएका छन्।
Sitting very seriously.
Seriously, because I'm here to serve.
Muscat.
Oh, Nepal.
अच्छा वो दीप्ति है इसमें not accessible. This is the main.
हमारे एक्सेस को ऑल वाला क्वेश्चन लगा
Something of
Excuse me.
ग्रीन के भन्नु अब
त्यही ब्यान पुगेन भन्नु
इधर से आओ ना उधर से बनाओ हाँ करो 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 हाथ रखो उधर इधर देखो मकनपुर छ मैडम
हजुर आउनुहोस् न गदिरा पनि पो
मैले कतिवटा मैले 5 मिनेट 10 मिनेटमा म तपाईलाई कल गर्छु कोई मिल गया
नो
another fellow
हमने डीएमसी में दिया हाम्रो नाम नहीं छ यसमा
तिमी डीएमसी मा कुन चाहिँ पोस्ट हो
खै अस्ति भइहाल्यो भन्नु म आफै
स्टलमा के गर्थ्यो भन्दाखेरि हरेक स्टलमा नि
रविन्द्रजी होइन हाम्रो चाहिँ ट्रेड नजरकेटी हुनुहुन्छ मेडिकेटी क्षेत्रमा मान्छे
पनि